que me enfrentaba.
Yeah, I would like to speak with the attorney.
The state of. All right, let me find the file.
Déjeme encontrar su archivo.
Ujú.
This is state of Kansas versus Lormius Ordius,
Es
case
el estado
number
de Kansas.
24 TR 110.
Con el señor Jason, leemos con el 24 TR 110.
Okay.
Defendant is charged with driving while suspended, second time offense, a class A misdemeanor.
Él tiene el cargo de manejando con una licencia suspendida como un segundo cargo. Ese es también un delito menor.
Ujú.
Transporting an open container, an unclassified misdemeanor.
También transportando un contenedor de alcohol abierto. Ese también es un cargo menor.
And then violation of duty of driver on approach of authorized emergency vehicle, an infraction.
Acercándose mucho sin autorización a un vehículo de emergencia, eso es una infracción.
Okay.
How does the defendant wish to plead today?
O sea, el acusado, ¿cómo se quiere declarar el día de hoy?
Culpable.
Guilty.
Okay. He doesn't want to speak to an attorney about this first?
Quisiera hablar con un abogado antes.
Sí, quisiera hablar con un abogado. ¿Por qué? Porque no entendí mucho. Hablo poco inglés, pero ese día no tuve. Y no sé qué delito, cómo está el delito. Solo que me dijeron que tenía corte hoy. Yo hice las maneras, todo lo que tuve para venir hoy, para saber más o menos a qué me enfrentaba.
Yeah, I would like to speak with the attorney because I didn't know what happened when that day I don't speak English and I just want to know what was the charges and what was the problem. So yes, I would like to do that.
Can he afford his own lawyer, or does the court need to consider appointing one?
¿Y usted podría pagar un abogado o necesita que la corte le apunte un abogado de oficio?
Seguir un abogado que me dé que yo no sé leer ni escribir. Soy poco.
¿Cómo, perdón? No lo escucho. Acérquese más.
Que yo no sé leer ni escribir y dónde podría contactar a un abogado, cómo se hace el abogado.
Okay. I don't know how to write or read, and I don't know how I probably gonna need an attorney.
All right. Missy, I think Richard Paul's appointment would be appropriate. Do you agree?
Yes.
All right. I will appoint Richard Paul as the defendant's attorney.
Okay, entonces le vamos a dar un abogado que se llama Richard Pauk. Él va a ser su abogado defensor.
I will enter a not guilty plea on his behalf.
Lo voy a poner por lo pronto como no culpable.
And set him a future court date.
Y le vamos a dar otra fecha de corte para que pueda hablar con el abogado.
Missy, please suggest a date.
June 7th at 10 a.m.
Le van a poner la corte para junio 7 a las 10 de la mañana, ¿ok?
No sería, disculpa, más tarde porque son muchas horas de camino.
Would you mind to make it a later because it's many hours of driving?
Does he have the capability of appearing by Zoom?
¿Usted podría presentarse en Zoom desde donde esté? ¿Sí
Que me
puede?
den todo anotado. Yo creo que sí, que me den todo anotado en un papel para yo conseguir ayuda con alguien que lo pueda hacer.
I will need someone to write all the information down so I can get someone to help me and show me how to do that.
I'm just saying that would be an option for him.
Eso podría ser una opción para ustedes, lo único que le digo.
Voy a tratar de manera de estar ese día a esa hora que él pues dice.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just gonna try to be here that day at that time.
All right, June 7, 10 o'clock a.m.
Entonces es junio 7 a las 10 de la mañana, ¿ok?
¿Podría anotarlo en algo?
Could I write it down somewhere? Can somebody write it down?
I think the officer in the room can write that down for him.
Que ahí el
Ok.
oficial del cuarto se lo va a apuntar, ¿ok?
Ok, que me den toda la información anotada porque así busco yo ayuda y todo. Okay.
Yeah, I will need that written down because that way I can ask for help.
I will keep him under his $5,000 bond with Kirkman.
Lo vamos a dejar con sus $5,000 de fianza con Kirkman, ¿ok? Así como está.
Okay.
Okay,
Judge,
and
they have-
Richard Paw, his attorney's office is in Wichita, Kansas.
Richard Pa es el abogado que está, y él está en Wichita, Kansas, ¿ok?
Okay.
Judge, they should have Mr. Paul's cards downstairs, but if not, we can give them the phone number.
Le pueden dar tal vez ahí abajo una tarjeta con la información de él para que pueda comunicarse el abogado.
Okay, muy bien.
Okay, very well.
Okay, do we have a card there we can give him?
Y que me pongan la fecha de la corte.
And if they can write down the date on the card, please.
Okay, if they'll take care of that, I appreciate it.
Sí, sí, se pueden encargar a alguien allá atrás, por favor.
Mr. Gillette, anything further we need to address here?
¿Hay algo más que necesitamos?
Yo creo que solamente.
I didn't hear.
Judge, there's no officer in the room.
Oh, okay. All right, I can have my assistant run something down to him. He just needs to hang on for one more minute, okay?
Ok, espere ahí un minuto para que le lleven, le den la información por escrito.
Oh,
She'll write it down for you and she'll bring it down. And
Ahí se la van a
Very
traer,
shortly,
si quiere esperar ahí atrás, por favor.
está bien.
just remember, June 7 at 10 o'clock.
Nada más acuérdese que es en junio 7 a las 10 de la mañana.
I lost him. He disappeared from my screen.
He's still here.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Is there anyone else that needs an English-Spanish interpreter?
¿Hay alguien más que necesite un intérprete inglés-español?
Ya no hay hispanos, ya solo hablamos dos.
Oh, that was the only two Hispanic people that they were there.
Okay. Well, thank you. I do appreciate your assistance, Mr. Rivera.
It's my pleasure, Your Honor.
Okay, and I'll go ahead and release you from the meeting at this time.
Thank you.
Oh, you got it right then. Oh, thank you. Mhm.
Okay, do I have a Steve Thompson on this meeting?
Thank you. So I'm gonna wait for somebody to come here?
Yes.
Well, Your Honor.
Mr. Thompson, you've got a speeding ticket. Looks like 50 and a 30. And you're wanting to plead not guilty and set it for trial?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Missy, if you could suggest a trial date?
June 21st at 11 a.m.
June 21, 11 a.m. Will that be by Zoom, Missy?
Yes.
All right, that'll be Judge Webster's court. It'll be a Zoom trial, June 21st, 11 o'clock a.m. You can participate from the courthouse location where you are today, Mr. Thompson, if necessary.
Okay.
Otherwise, you'll need to fully participate by both audio and visual by Zoom at that time. June
Yes, sir.
21st, 11 o'clock a.m.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right. Anything else on that, Ms. Gillette, that we need to address?
Not from the state. Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Thompson?
I just need to make sure that I understand correctly that this is not whether it goes my direction or not doesn't affect my CDL.
Okay. I don't know if it's going to affect your CDL or not if you're convicted. I presume it would. You can talk to the prosecutor's office. Maybe they have a diversion program. That's something that the prosecutor's office would have to address.
Okay.
Okay. Otherwise,
All right.
you're set for trial, June 21st at 11 o'clock a.m.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Very well. You're free to go at this time, Mr. Thompson.
Appreciate it.
Okay. Right, the jail has somebody, I believe, on screen for me. Do I have more than one jail facility involved here? Okay, who is CBVCT02? Let's go live on that one.
I believe that's Miss Harris, Judge.
Okay, that would be Heather Marie Harris.
Yes, Your Honor.
I have more than one Harris on this docket.
Sorry, Your Honor.
This is State of Kansas versus Heather Marie Harris. Case number 2022 CR 143. Heather Harris appears from apparently Johnson County's jail facility. Jill Gillette for the state. Christopher Ambrose as counsel, correct?
I think I need to technically be reappointed, but that's the plan today, Your Honor.
Ms. Harris, I've got a warrant to show cause alleging probation violation, failing to obey the law, failing to report, failing to attend Senate Bill 123 treatment as required, as alleged by Mr. Ketley from Community Corrections. Further hearing will need to be set in regards to these allegations. Before you're assigned judge, which will be Judge Satterfield. Missy, if you could suggest a date on Judge Satterfield's calendar.
Yes, June 13th at 10.
Yes, that works for me, Your Honor. And can we have it reflected on the journal entry for today that I've been reappointed to take care of Miss Harris for the probation violation issue, please?
Well, I'll address that next. Ms.
Oh,
Harris,
sorry.
do you need a court-appointed lawyer to represent you on this, or do you have the resources to hire your own?
No, I need court appointed, Your Honor.
All right, I will reappoint then. Mr. Ambrose is your lawyer. Thank you for being here, Mr. Ambrose.
Thank you, Judge. Yep.
June 13, 10 o'clock for further hearing. Bond on the warrant needs to be dealt with. No doubt Judge Satterfield set that earlier.
2,500 cash surety, Your Honor.
All
That's
right.
what she said it.
That would appear to be correct. That amount doesn't appear from the face sheet. Let me look back, see if I can find it elsewhere. I just want to make sure we stay where you're getting your information there, Ms. Gillette.
Your Honor, it's on the front of the warrant signature page filed February 29th, 2024. It was handwritten in as 2,500 cash surety, just above so ordered.
All right, I will maintain the defendant under that bond. It appears to be paid in this court. $2,500 cash or professional surety required. If you do get released from whatever other holds you have, Ms. Harris, you will need to report to your officer between now and the time of your court hearing, which is June 13th at 10 before Judge Satterfield.
I had a question. I bonded out for Greenwood County, so is my bond staying the same or what?
What do you mean you bonded out for Greenwood County?
Well, on this warrant, I posted bond in Butler County through Kirkman.
I do see that there's a notation from the sheriff that you were arrested in Butler County. I don't have a bond form in front of me. I don't.
Okay.
If you've already made bond, you've already made it.
Okay, that's what I
Wouldn't
need
have
to
to
know.
bond a
That's-
second time.
Okay, that's all I was wondering.
Okay.
And Judge, if before we let her go, if Missy could toss us in a breakout room real quick so I could verify some contact information in case Miss Harris was to be bonded out of and no longer be in Johnson, if possible.
Missy, if you can accommodate that, please do.
Yes, I can.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate it. And I believe
Very
that's
well.
all we
Judge,
have.
do you want
on
an
this-
order for remote hearing for the next hearing in case she's still in Johnson?
Yes.
We'll submit one. Thank you.
Thank
All
you,
right,
Your Honor.
we'll move on then to another case on the docket. Do I have any other remote incarceration facilities on this meeting? I see I have Greenwood County, of course, but I'm not aware that I have any other jail facilities. So I've had an individual be very patient from the Greenwood County Jail. Who is that? Okay, they're muted.
Me? Adam Garcia.
Okay.
My attorney is not here, so I'm guessing we're just gonna have to set another date back where I could at least talk to him or something.
Okay. This appears to be State of Kansas versus Adam Carrillo Garcia, case number 2022 CR 137. Jill Gillette appearing for the state, Adam Garcia from the Greenwood County Jail Zoom location. This is a warrant to show cause alleging probation violation. Did you already bond on this?
Yes.
I see a $25,000 bond through Maureen Crow Bonding Company,
Yes, sir.
March 20th. So you're being held on other matters, Mr. Garcia?
This is another matter. Yeah.
Okay. Your warrant to show cause in this case, failing to observe the law is one allegation. Actually, there's two different violations, and then failing to make your monthly payments. Further hearing will need to be set in regards to these allegations before Judge Satterfield. Missy, a proposed date on Mr. Garcia.
June 13th at 11.
June 13, 11 o'clock a.m. Garcia must fully participate in Judge Satterfield's docket at that time. June 13th at 11.
I have a question. Would there be any way I could get another judge, because like I was like fully like it was like a whole discrimination with that judge, and like I would like to have another judge if I could.
Okay. Can you afford to hire your own lawyer, Mr. Garcia?
I believe so.
You can hire your attorney despite the fact you're in jail?
I mean, I could definitely try my hardest, but I mean,
Who was your
if
attorney before in this?
Pate and Poe, they were supposed to be reassigned on this case because he was the one that took my case originally, but I haven't even talked to him. He hasn't even gotten in contact with me or anything. So
Well, they haven't been reappointed yet. I suspect. They don't know that they've been reappointed to represent you in this.
oh, okay, I see.
will reappoint the proper attorney. Now, Christopher Pate is listed in the pre-sentence report as your lawyer. I will reappoint Christopher Pate,
Okay.
represent Adam Garcia in this case. You can talk to Mr. Pate about what your remedies might be regarding a change of judge, Mr. Garcia.
Okay, thank you, sir.
We've got Mr. Pate reappointed. We've got our court date set before Judge Satterfield, and he's already made bond in this case, 25,000 cash or surety. So he'll be maintained under that bond pending further proceedings. Anything else, Ms. Gillette?
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
Very well. Then the Adam Garcia matter will be in recess. Okay, another individual seated at the jail. Who do I? You're muted right now.
Cedric Pelham.
Okay. Next case is Greenwood County case number 2023 TR 300024, State of Kansas versus Cedric Lynn Pelham. Pelham appears from the Greenwood County Jail Zoom location. Jill Gillette by Zoom as prosecuting attorney. I see a failure to appear, Mr. Pelham.
Yes, Your Honor.
Apparently, you were supposed to have been in court April 12th.
Yes, sir.
Why didn't you appear on April 12th when you were supposed to, Mr. Pelham?
Miscommunication with my attorney. I haven't spoken to him. He hasn't responded to my texts or nothing. So it was just miscommunication on the time. I already knew what day it was. I just didn't know what time it was. So when
weren't you told in court, like we're doing now, what date and time was?
I just had the date. No time.
Hmm. Richard Paul remains his attorney.
Your Honor, he'll need bond set today.
Well, he doesn't need one, but he's not entitled to one.
Your Honor,
bond authorized at this time, according to the judge presiding, which I presume was Judge Webster. I'm afraid you're going to forget what time you're supposed to be in court next time too, Mr. Pelham.
No, sir. No, sir. I actually, my bail bondman wanted me to ask you if I could get my bond reinstated because he's been helping me figure out the times and stuff. And I just turned myself in because I knew I just missed the time.
Well, I hate to put more work on the county jail, but if the sheriff's officials can verify that Mr. Florio will stay on your bond, I'll reinstate it with him. After all, he's the one on the hook as well.
Yes, Sean.
But if that's up to Mr. Florio, he can just say no.
Yeah, he's okay with it. He just wanted the approval from you.
You understand, I can't take your word for that.
Yes, sir.
So if the jail can contact Mr. Florio's office, and if they'll verify that they'll remain as the surety on your bond, I will reinstate that bond.
Yes, sir.
If any other surety gets involved, I'm going to bond. Mr. Pelham.
Yes, Your Honor.
What was the original bond?
$2,500. If I recall right. Let me look back, but. That's correct. The original bond was $2,500 with Florio. Court will reinstate it with surety's consent. Or I'll set a new bond that you could use some other surety for $5,000, cash or professional surety required. So I hope Mr. Florio helps you out. And you cannot forget about your court date, Mr. Pelham.
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you give Mr. Pelham a date and time for him to show up next time?
Yes, we will set this over to May 10th at 10 a.m.
Okay. That's a real easy number to keep track of, Mr. Pelham. 5:10 at 10. Okay, May 10th, 10 o'clock a.m. And you must be personally involved in that docket at that time. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. You have any questions about what we've done here today, Mr. Pelham?
No, sir. I just wanted to know. All I have to do is contact Florio for you to get that reinstated.
Yeah, and I hope that the jail will go ahead and make a call after this docket's over. Okay, sheriff is committed to doing that to help you out there, Mr. Pelham.
Yes, sir.
Florio will stay on your bond. You'll be able to get back out. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Don't forget about that court date and time, though. Okay.
Yes, sir. I'll be there.
Very good. If there's nothing further, then the Pelham matter will be in recess at this time. We'll move on to another case.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah. If you guys need some help interpreting, I know Spanish as well.
Does the jail have anyone else for the court to see that?
Miss Denny should be in jail on a bond revocation,
Okay.
but it
Do
may
I
take
have
him
her
a couple.
attorney on the meeting? I see that I do. Okay. Well, I don't know if we're going to get Ms. Denny on here anytime soon. I realize that they're busy over there.
Judge, if you want to take up another case, that's fine with me.
What I'm going to do. Mr. Jensen, what do you have?
24 CR 81. It's up for first appearance. It was originally scheduled for appearance earlier, but I had a schedule conflict and it was set over to today.
All right. As requested, I will call State versus Patrick McClellan. 24 CR 81 is the case number, with Jill Gillette appearing for the state. Gail Jensen is defense counsel. And is that Patrick McClellan with you there in your office, Mr. Jensen?
To my right, Your Honor, and slightly behind me on Zoom.
Okay.
Yes.
And this does come before the court for first appearance. Count 1 alleges unlawful distribution of a controlled substance within 1,000 feet of a school, a level 2 drug felony. Count 2, no drug tax stamp, a level 10 non-person felony. Count 3, unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia, class B non-person misdemeanor. Obviously, felonies are involved. The defendant will not be asked to plead at this time. Rather, a preliminary hearing scheduling will need to be made. Missy, what date do you suggest?
June 7th at 1:30 for preliminary hearing control.
I work with you, Mr. Jensen.
Yes, Your Honor, I'll be over there for 10 o'clock that morning, so I'll just hang around and we'll do it at 1:30. Although
perhaps you can visit one of Eureka's fine eating establishments while you're here, Mr. Jensen.
Both of them? Your Honor, we will waive formal reading of the charging document and acknowledge its receipt. Mr. McClellan has posted bond and he has been processed with photograph and print.
All right, let's check bond status then. Appears that he posted bond back on March 9, $7,500 bond. Sarah Ricke was the surety on the bond. I'll maintain him under that Owens bonding bond that he's posted pending further proceedings in his case. Gail Jensen obviously is retained counsel, Mr. Jensen, correct?
Yes, that is correct, sir.
All right. And we've got our court date set for June 7 at 1:30 p.m. Any other business we need to conduct here, Mr. Jensen?
Not at this time, thank you.
Ms. Gillette, anything further at this time?
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor. Thank you.
Very well. Then the McClellan matter will currently be in recess. The Greenwood County Jail. Do I have Jordan Denny?
Yes, sir.
Okay. It's the state of Kansas versus Jordan Alicia Denny. It's case number 24 CR 26. Jill Gillette appearing for the state. William McClendon as defense counsel. Defendant Denny appearing from the Greenwood County Jail Zoom location. What is current case status here?
Judge, Miss Denny had her bond revoked, and I put in a motion for new bond. Upon finding that out, we were supposed to have a PHC where we were going to try to set this over for evidentiary hearings. But I did not know that she had a warrant out for having her bond to be revoked due to a traffic.
All right, what are you suggesting that we do regarding bond status today, Mr. McClendon?
Your Honor, I would just ask for a new bond to be issued for my client.
What's the state's position here, Ms. Gillette?
Your Honor, Ms. Denny keeps violating her bond conditions, committing new crimes. It was more than just a traffic infraction in Sedgwick County. She was stopped for a traffic infraction and found to be in possession of a stolen vehicle. She's been revoked before for new charges in Butler County. She's racking up charges in different jurisdictions. The prior time that she was revoked, she was also having contact with her co-defendant that she was ordered not to have contact with. Ms. Denny's bonds have been raised, and she continues to instead of doing what she needs to do. And her last bond was raised up fairly significantly for continuing to have contact with her co-defendant and continuing to have violations of the law. We are asking that her bond be, I think she was set at 100,000 before, and this is a case where she was the passenger in the fling and elude, throwing evidence out the window as the car was driving. So we're asking for her bond to be a significant bond. Judge Webster put a no bond hold on her because of her behavior while out on bond. She was on GPS while committing these crimes because she had a GPS monitor on her because of her fleeing and eluding status and criminal history. Therefore, it's the state's position that either she be held till she sees Judge Webster or a bond to ensure her behavior is set. Have also offered to the defense when her bond was revoked that if she wanted to go to treatment, that we would make arrangements to make sure that if she got a drug and alcohol evaluation, that we would see that she had delivery to treatment with an order that she stay there as a condition of her probation, because I feel like the better part of her issues have to do with her drug use, and treatment would be the best thing for her at this time.
The bond that I see evident in the file was for $47,500. Was there a bond after that one?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and that one was 90?
Yes.
Ms. Denny doesn't appear to get the message. Anything you want to say, Mr. McClendon?
Your Honor, I know my client is currently still looking for work so she can pay for these legal problems, and she's also helping her mother take care of her little brother. And other than that, that's about all I have to present.
Anything you want to say, Ms. Denny?
Yes, I was not charged with a stolen vehicle because the vehicle that was bought was,
Okay, I'm not concerned about that.
yeah, and I have been trying my hardest to stay out of trouble. And I know there was a traffic infraction, and I had went to go get my glasses to make sure I could actually get my legal driver's license, because I had to get my driver's license so I could get my traffic infraction out of Butler taken care of. And I wasn't charged with a stolen vehicle because there was enough evidence that I'd had no control over the stolen vehicle. It was sold to me and my family like that.
Okay. I don't really have a concern about stolen vehicles today, Ms. Denny. What I have a concern about is whether you can be relied upon to appear in court, which there's very little evidence before me to suggest that you would.
I have showed up to court every time. In fact, I showed up to court when I was arrested, and I have an ankle monitor on my ankle still.
And number two, you're being charged with a level 2 drug felony, a presumptive prison crime, which obviously adds to the level of risk here. Court will reestablish bond in this case at $150,000, cash or professional surety required. And what's the next court date, Missy, for Ms. Denny?
Yeah, I believe on Friday we set it for May 24th at 1:30 for a BHC.
Okay. May 24, 1:30 p.m. is the next setting in the case. Ms. McClendon remains Ms. Denny's counsel. Anything else we need to address here, Ms. Gillette?
Not from the state, Your Honor.
Mr. McClendon?
Heath, something.
Yeah, Judge, I was just curious if she does go ahead and make that bond for the 150,000.
Yes, I'm not relaxing any of the previously established restrictions. Thank you for that question, Sheriff. If there's nothing further, the Denny matter will be in recess. We'll move on to another case.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Oh, hey, yep, we just have to sit right there for them.
Do I have a Tyler Armour on this meeting? I didn't hear a response. Do I? Tyler, Decia, Annette Armour. That case would have been 2024 TR 162. Bill Gillette is appearing for the state. When the court is called for Tyler Armour, there's been this is a driving while suspended, no proof of insurance case. Court date April 30th, 1:15 p.m. We're way beyond that. There's been no appearance by the defendant.
State requests the bench warrant bond forfeiture. Ask for,
There's been no bond posted, I don't think, but the court will authorize the issuance of an arrest warrant. What bond amount do you suggest on the warrant, Mr. Gillette?
1,000 cash surety.
Court will adopt that recommendation and set bond on the arrest warrant at $1,000, cash or professional surety required upon the arrest of the defendant for failure to appear. We'll move on to Victor M. Colazo Castro. Is that individual on the meeting? Okay, you're okay. Go ahead and rejoin us with video, Mr. Castro.
I think he's at the courthouse.
Okay, is he in the courthouse room there?
No.
Oh.
That's three.
Okay. Call the case again. State of Kansas versus Victor M. Colazo Castro. Greenwood County case 2024 CR 97. Is that individual on this meeting at the court? Okay, I do not hear or see a response.
There's no one like that in the courtroom.
What was that comment?
There's no one in the courtroom of that person. There's just three of us in here.
State would request a bench warrant bond forfeiture, Your Honor.
An appearance bond was posted in this case. Florio. Court date on the bond, April 30th, 1:30 p.m. Court's called for Victor M. Collazo Castro and has not received a response. Or bond forfeiture bench warrant issue for the arrest of the defendant. I'm sorry, Ms. Gillette, did you have a bond recommendation?
Your Honor, I'd recommend $20,000 cash surety.
I've considered that recommendation. On this individual. This is a felony case. There's been a failure to appear. No bond hold is ordered in connection with the bench warrant to be issued due to the defendant's failure to appear. So we'll move on to the next matter. Okay, do I have a Corey Harris on this meeting?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Corey's iPhone making more sense now.
Yes.
Relocate that file, Mr. Harris. This is case number 2023 TR 1274, State versus Corey Allen Harris. Mr. Harris appears by his own Zoom. Jill Gillette on behalf of the state. See a bench warrant issued in this case, Mr. Harris.
Yes, Your Honor. I turned myself in and paid it cash bond.
I see that. You're on a $1,000 cash bond at this point. We're going to need to get you reset. You see what your case status is here. Original charge was driving while license canceled, suspended, or revoked, a misdemeanor. Did you
Yes,
have
Your
an
Honor.
attorney appointed for you, Mr. Harris?
No.
You're representing yourself on this?
Yeah. Because, okay, so what I understood from the last judge, she said if I got my license back, I didn't have to go back to court. So I didn't end up going back on the Zoom, and then I got told I had a warrant out for my arrest.
So you got your license back?
Yeah, I have it back. It's reinstated.
Okay, have you shown that to the prosecuting attorney's office?
No, I figured they'd send it over from Howard because they said they would.
Ms. Gillette, do you know anything about this?
I have not seen it yet, Your Honor. I think he was going to try to apply for a diversion to get it done, and he hadn't contacted us to apply for the diversion so that he didn't have to come back if he got a diversion complete and got his license back.
Right.
I think he missed part of the information.
Well, that makes sense to me, Mr. Harris. If you're going to apply for diversion, which I trust that door might still be open, Ms. Gillette.
If he does, that's fine. Mr. Dean has to handle Mr. Harris's case unless he waives the fact that I represented him years ago. So he's working on the diversion part was supposed to be with Mr. Dean.
Okay. Well, he can contact your office here in Eureka for the application or information regarding diversion. Right, Jill?
He would need to contact them and see if he qualifies. As I said, I'm trying to let Mr. Dean handle this case as much as possible because when Corey was younger, I was his attorney. So he grew up with my son.
Well, then, Mr. Harris, you should contact somebody else at the Greenwood County Attorney's Office regarding diversion, if that's what you want to pursue.
Yes,
You're
sir.
going to need to provide them proof that you do have a reinstated license. I will
Okay.
set you for a future court date to allow you to work on this.
Okay.
Missy, what date do you suggest?
Let's set this on the traffic docket, June 7th at 9.
June 7, 9 o'clock a.m. And Mr. Harris, you do need to appear.
Yes, sir.
Okay, June 7, 9 o'clock a.m. for further proceedings in the Corey Allen Harris case. Again, I'd start that diversion application process immediately if I were you, Mr. Harris.
Okay.
It'll take a little time.
Okay.
Okay. So Harris is reset to June 7th at 9. Anything else we need to address at this time, Ms. Gillette?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
You have any questions, Mr. Harris?
No, sir.
Very well. Then the Harris matter will be in recess and you can leave the meeting at this time.
Thank you.
Gavin Howard?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. I know you're there.
Yeah.
Let's see why you're here, Mr. Howard. This is the state of Kansas versus Gavin Lamont Howard. It's case number 23 CR 300046. Mr. Howard appears on his own Zoom. Jill Gillette on behalf of the state. This isn't your first appearance. You apparently failed to appear one time, Mr. Howard.
Yes, I was.
Was set at $2,500, which you're under now, apparently.
Yes, I was incarcerated in Cherokee County. That's why I couldn't make it to my court.
Okay, I understand that you couldn't make it to court if you were in jail somewhere else, but that's not really a very good excuse, is it? That you were incarcerated elsewhere?
No.
But what we're going to focus on today, Mr. Howard, is trying to get this case taken care of. So let me look back. You posted bond in this case again. This is a possession of marijuana case, Class B misdemeanor. Did you have an attorney assigned earlier?
No, sir.
Are you wanting to do this without a lawyer, or if you can't afford one, one would be appointed for you?
I was actually going to plead no contest. But...
And in doing so, you'd waive the advice and assistance of an attorney?
Yes.
Okay. And you do understand that you have a right to legal counsel to represent you. And as I advised you before, if you can't afford one, one would be appointed for you by the court to give you that advice and assistance. You understand these things?
Yes, sir.
And you wish to counsel and proceed on your own?
I'll take a court appointment.
Okay. Can you afford to hire your own lawyer?
No.
Why is that? Are you working?
I'm not working. No, not currently.
Okay. But how are you getting by if you're not working?
I guess it's getting by, I guess.
Are you live with your parents or what?
Yeah, my mom.
Okay. The court will appoint Richard Paw to represent you. And we'll set you a future court date. And now, Mr. Howard, I know that you've had impressed upon you the importance of showing up for court, and you've been very patient today.
Yes, sir.
We'll set another date. Missy, if you'd please suggest one.
June 11th at 3:30.
June 11, 3:30 p.m. Mr. Howard, it'll be another Zoom docket like today.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully they'll get to you a lot quicker than I was able to today.
It's all good.
June 11, 3:30 p.m. Richard Paw appointed as his lawyer, and he'll be continued under his current bond pending further proceedings in the case, and that is an OR bond. He was given an OR bond?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a book and release as soon as I got there, but I didn't fax my paperwork. So I got extradited from Cherokee over there to Greenwood
Okay.
County.
Okay. All right, I see. I'll maintain him under his $2,500 OR bond at this time. Any questions about what we've done here today, Mr. Howard?
No, sir.
Okay, then just get on all your scheduling calendars. June 11th, 3:30 p.m. Zoom hearing for further proceedings in your case. Okay?
Thank you.
All right. I can go ahead and let you go off the meeting, Mr. Howard.
Thank you.
Do I have a Shane Jones on this meeting?
Yeah.
This is State of Kansas versus Shane Jones. Case number 24 TR 165. Joe Gillette appearing for the state. Mr. Jones appearing on his own Zoom. This is a speeding 68 and a 50 and an expired DL case. How do you plead, Mr. Jones?
Guilty and get it over with.
You want to plead, I want to get it over with?
No, I said I want to go ahead and plead guilty and get it over with.
Okay, all right. Understand that a speeding infraction is punishable by up to a $500 fine. Expired DL, I think that's an unclassified misdemeanor, which would be punishable by up to a $500 fine and up to 30 days in the county jail or both. You understand these things, Mr. Jones?
Yes, sir.
And it is your intention to waive the assistant counsel despite if you couldn't afford one?
Yes, sir.
And go ahead and proceed today. You want to do that?
Yes, sir.
Somewhere in Greenwood County. Where was it?
It was right there on 400 at that work zone.
Okay. And you acknowledged to this court that you were going 68 in a 50-mile-an-hour zone
Yes, sir.
and that you were driving on an expired driver's license at that time. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So do you now freely, knowingly, and voluntarily enter pleas of guilty and accept conviction for speeding and expired DL?
Yes, sir.
Basis, and this is a free and voluntary act on his part. Shane Jones stands convicted pursuant to the court's acceptance of his guilty plea of speeding and expired DL. We'll proceed to sentencing. Ms. Gillette, what do you recommend?
Your Honor, he's taking responsibility. I don't think his license was suspended that long or expired that long based on it. Usually it's his birthday. I am not recommending any jail time. I'm recommending the fine on count 1. And since it's in a construction zone, unfortunately, that is doubled. And on count 2, I'm recommending a $50 fine and court costs. No other fees are being requested at this time and no jail time.
All right, Mr. Jones, anything you want to say about that?
No, sir.
Mr. Jones, I'm going to impose a $100 fine on the speeding charge, a $50 fine on the expired DL for a total of $150 in fines plus $108 in court costs for a total of $258. How quickly can you pay that to the clerk's office?
Okay, I just recently, I was actually moving, like we was moving back and forth when I got that ticket. I was moving from Coffeyville, Kansas to Wichita, and I am about to start a job next week. So if I could have maybe like a month to start paying it, and then, I mean, would that be something that would be okay?
Okay, that's just a little bit too uncertain for me. I would rather have a date that you can commit to me that you can have it all paid.
All paid. A month.
Okay, I don't want to put that. Okay, look, if you're just starting a new job, you're going to have to get a paycheck or two in. Okay. All right. Let's be realistic about this. I want you to have it all paid within 90 days. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's more.
Mr. Jones, if you can get it paid in 30, do it and get it over with.
Okay.
but I'm gonna set your deadline at 90 days. And after 90 days, if it's not paid in full, it's gonna go to collections. And you know what's gonna happen then? Then you're gonna owe even more money.
Yeah, I know.
You probably get your checks garnished or who knows what. So
Okay.
the easy way is just get it all paid into the clerk of the district court in Greenwood County within 90 days of today's date. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You bet. We just want to get this taken care of and get it behind us.
Yep.
Okay. All right, Mr. Jones, any questions about this?
No, sir.
Ms. Gillette, anything further?
Not from the state, Your Honor.
Okay. Then the Shane Jones matter will be in recess at this time. Mr. Jones, you can leave the meeting.
Thank you.
We're going to take up Rachel Masters next. Do I have a Rachel Masters on this meeting? I will call State of Kansas versus Rachel D. Masters, case number 2023 TR 229. Jill Gillette appears for the state, but the court has called for Rachel Masters and has not received a response. I see that there is a bench warrant that issued. There's a notation here, arrested in apparently Labette County. Bonded 4/30/24, 13/30 court date. Problem is, it is 4/30 of 2024. And the court date was supposed to be 13/30, and now it's past 14/30. Ms. Gillette, do you have anything that you can add to this situation?
Judge, this case has been pled. It's a pay or appear situation. She pled guilty back on June 23rd of 2023. She had a pay or appear set at that time for August 18th of 2023 at 11 a.m. She had not paid at that time. She had been trying to make payments, but she had another pay 13th at 11 a.m. There was the issue with the court's computer, so Judge Webster gave her an extension to December 8th, and then she failed to appear in December again, and then she had another failure to appear in February. So she had a $375 cash bond issued for her. And I don't know if she posted that $375 cash bond, but that's what's owed on her case. If that cash bond was paid, I'd ask that it be applied to the costs of this action. She still hasn't showed up for court to take responsibility for not having it paid on time and missing so many court dates, but at least it would get it paid. And if that's forfeited over to the fines and costs or applied to the fines and costs, then I would terminate this case because I don't know if we'll get her back here. But that's what the situation on this case is.
All right, there is an appearance bond in the file that would seem to indicate that she made a cash bond at $375, but I do note her address is listed Independence, Kansas. I don't know who's in possession of $375 at this point.
It would be transferred over to the court clerk to be placed.
I see it now.
And
I see it now.
hold on to
There's
her
a
case.
receipt. I can't really tell who actually issued the receipt. It appears to be Labette County Jail Office. Okay. The court will apply the $375 in cash bond to the amounts owed in this case. Once that's paid, this case will be terminated, as the case will at that point been paid in full. This time, because of the cash bond that's pending, the court will not take further action against the defendant at this time. If there's nothing further, then the Rachel Dawn Masters matter will be in recess and moving on to another case. This isn't next on my sheet, but I do see that I have Amber Underwood on this meeting, who's been very patient. So I'm going to call that one next. Ms. Underwood. You join with audio?
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
This is State of Kansas versus Amber D. Underwood, case number 2024 CR 69. Amber Underwood is now fully on the meeting by Zoom. Jill Gillette on behalf of the state. I see a complaint here which alleged in count 1 interference with law enforcement, a Class A misdemeanor. I also see in this file that there is a bond that was posted to Kelly Pickering Hot Rod Bail Bonds in the amount of $2,000.
Sir?
This appears to be a first appearance on that charge. Punishable by up to a year in the county jail and up to a $2,500 fine or both. How do you plead, Ms. Underwood?
I want to plead guilty.
In doing so, you'd be waiving the assistance of a lawyer, even though you'd be entitled to a lawyer appointment if you could not afford to hire your own. You understand these things?
This is the first time that I've actually been in trouble, so I'm trying to understand it, but I do know that what it is that I did was wrong, and I don't know what no contest means, and
No contest means that you simply don't contest the charge. You're not admitting that you did the criminal act, but you're also not contesting conviction just the same.
Okay, but I already admitted. I sent a letter to Greenwood County with what it is that I did, so I don't want to lie no more. I just want to plead guilty, please.
Okay. And waive the assistance of legal counsel?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it is an actual guilty plea that you're entering?
Yes, I am.
All right. Well, let's go over that.
Okay.
But first finds that Ms. Underwood apparently wishes to waive her right to legal counsel and wants to proceed on her own. She wishes to enter a plea of guilty to the interference with law enforcement charge. This supposedly took place September 12 of 2023. Is that when it happened?
Yes, sir.
And it happened somewhere in Greenwood County. Where was it?
At my house, sir.
And where's your house?
103 North Mulberry Street in Eureka.
Okay. What did you do that would constitute interference with law enforcement, Ms. Underwood?
I honestly, I went through a series of doctor's appointments that day. I came home, I ate, and I started drinking. So I was inebriated, and I have a slight bipolar tendency, is what my doctor said. And I wanted to numb myself. And then I also have different medications that I was taking at that in particular time. And I lied to the police.
What did you lie to them about?
I'm sorry.
What did you lie to them about?
I lied to them saying that my fiance was beating me.
So you claim that Eric Griffin was committing a criminal act against you, and that's false.
That is correct, sir.
It's a serious matter, Ms. Underwood.
Yes, I understand, sir.
So do you now freely, knowingly, and voluntarily enter a plea of guilty and accept conviction for interference with law enforcement, a Class A non-person misdemeanor?
Yes, sir. I need to understand my consequence, and that's something that my dad, he passed away not too long ago, and that's something that he taught me growing up, and so I'm admitting to my wrongfulness, I guess, is what I can say. But if you don't mind me mentioning this, I do have a very bad issue. I'm learning how to walk again.
Okay, we'll address that more in a moment. Okay.
Okay.
We're first going to find that the defendant knowingly waived counsel, has entered a guilty plea to interference with law enforcement. There's a factual basis for that offense. She's been made aware of the possible penalties, and it is a free and voluntary act on her part. So the court will accept the plea and find her convicted of Class A non-person misdemeanor enforcement. I want to hear from the state's attorney regarding a recommendation regarding an appropriate sentence.
Judge, I'm recommending 6 months underlying suspended for 6 months supervised probation. During that time, I believe Ms. Underwood sees mental health services on her mental health services. No drinking during that 6-month time period is the combination of alcohol with her medications caused the issues, and for her to report to court supervised probation, court cost booking fee, and probation fee. Our main crux in this issue is to make sure that she is continuing to get her mental health treatment, taking her medication as prescribed. And that's what the CSO is for, is to ensure that she signs releases to make sure all that is going on.
Very well, Ms. Gillette. Ms. Underwood, at this time, do you have any statements that you wish to make in mitigation of punishment here?
No, I don't. I just want to say thank you for not putting me in jail.
Well, I haven't made that decision yet.
Okay, well then I guess I'll keep my mouth shut.
Okay, well, I get it. What I keep thinking about is what Mr. Griffin went through. He had to undergo arrest for a felony, aggravated domestic battery, not just a felony, but a bad one that suggests some real harm that was inflicted upon a domestic partner. I don't know how much jail time he did because of this accusation. Did he bond out right away? Or did he have to sit in jail for a while?
He was there for, I think, 2 or 3 days.
You have a relationship with this individual?
Yes, sir.
Still you do after this?
Yes, sir.
Well, he's a very forgiving guy.
We've been together for 8 years, sir.
Well, I suppose if he can forgive you after what you put him through. Very well. For the crime of interference with law enforcement, a Class A non-person misdemeanor, the court imposes 6 months in the Greenwood County Jail. Court imposes no fine. Court will accept the prosecutor's recommendation at this point for either substance abuse or mental health services issues here that need to be addressed. Ms. Underwood, court will order you to follow the direction from your mental health professionals, including taking your medications as prescribed. You shall continue to get mental health services. Not have alcohol or illegal drugs as a condition of your probation. Report to an officer as directed and follow all standard conditions.
Okay.
Court will be assessing no fine, but we'll assess a docket fee, booking fee, misdemeanor probation fee. I'm going to have you contact Greenwood County Court Services just as soon as you get off this, Ms. Underwood.
Yes, sir.
I can give you that number. Write it down.
Yes, please.
You ready?
Hold on 1 second. Okay, I'm ready.
Area code 620.
Okay.
953 2013.
2013.
Yeah, let's go over that again. 620-953-2013. Done. And then follow their direction regarding future reporting.
Okay, so do I have jail time then?
Well, you can go to jail if you want to, but I placed you on probation at this point, Ms. Underwood.
Okay, thank
Quite frankly, I don't think it would be inconsistent with justice if you had to serve the same amount of jail time that you made Mr. That's a pretty powerful forgiveness there. I don't know that I would be that understanding. Let's put it that way. So he must be a special guy.
Thank you.
All right. So again, well, your first task is to contact the probation department and get started with them. Okay.
Okay.
Good
And
luck,
then,
Ms. Underwood. I hope you successfully complete this probation and don't have to do that time.
Thank you. So with my fees and everything, where do I pay? How do I pay?
You pay the Greenwood County Clerk's office.
Okay. Can I start
Clerk of the
doing that
district
like
court.
next
The
month?
clerk of the district
Or
court.
do I have to put something down? Or like uh
To get it
can I
applied to your
start?
case properly, you would need to indicate your case number.
If she makes
Okay.
arrangements with her CSO judge, they can set up the payment arrangements with her and help her with that. That's one of the reasons she has a CSO in this matter.
Okay. Okay. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, sir.
All right, Ms. Underwood. Go ahead and make that call, okay?
Yes, sir.
There's nothing further then. The Underwood matter will be in recess at this time.
Do I hang up?
Yeah, you can leave the meeting at this time, Ms. Underwood.
Figure that out.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Sandra McMullen. McMullen? Apparently I've lost them. Okay. Brett's iPhone 12. Who is that?
It's Brett Stubbs, Your Honor.
Okay. You've been patient too, Mr. Stubbs. This is State of Kansas versus Brett Edward Stubbs, case number 2024 CR 53. Joe Gillette appears as Greenwood County Attorney. Mr. Stubbs appears on his own Zoom. I see you posted an appearance bond before. $500 OR on a theft charge. Have you been on in court on this previously, Mr. Stubbs?
No, I'm not, Your Honor.
Okay. Charging count 1 is theft, a Class A non-person misdemeanor. Again, punishable by up to a year in the county jail and up to a $2,500 fine or both. How do you intend to plead to that charge?
No contest.
You understand that with no contest, you accept conviction for the theft.
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, punishable by up to a year in the county jail and up to a $2,500 fine or both. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And for this court to accept a plea of no contest, you'd have to waive the right to legal counsel. You do have a right to an attorney's assistance. And if you can't afford one, the court can consider appointing you one.
I would need one to be appointed.
Okay, then you don't really want to enter a no contest plea then.
No, not yet.
Okay, so you want a lawyer.
Yes, Your Honor.
You can't afford to hire your own?
No, I cannot.
Okay, I will appoint Richard Paw to represent Mr. Stubbs. enter a not guilty plea on his behalf at this point, pending further proceedings. So Richard Paz appointed, $500 OR bond remains in effect. That's a good deal, Mr. Stubbs, but that's what appearing in court on time does for you. Keeps you under an OR bond. And we'll
Yes,
set
sir.
another court date. Missy, what do you suggest?
June 11th at 3:30.
Court will set Mr. Stubbs' next appearance for June 11 at 3:30. You must appear by Zoom fully at that time, Mr. Stubbs. June 11, 3:30 p.m., Judge Webster's Court.
Thank you.
With PA appointed and bond remaining in effect. Anything else we need to address here, Ms. Gillette?
Not from the state, Your Honor.
Very well. Any questions, Mr. Stubbs?
No, sir.
Your case is in recess at this time. You can leave the meeting.
Thank you.
All right, Sandra McMullen, you're back. You go ahead and take yourself off mute. This is State of Kansas versus Sandra Michelle McMullen. It's case number 2024 CR 64. Jill Gillette appears for the state. Ms. McMullen appears on her own Zoom. You hear me okay, Ms. McMullen?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, good. Look and see why you're here. This is apparently first appearance on a charge of giving a worthless check, a Class A non-person misdemeanor. How do you plead to this charge?
Well, I wrote the check, but I did not know it was going to bounce.
Okay. So are you telling me you want to enter a not guilty plea?
Yes. I
Okay.
honestly put money in there. I have a son who's disabled who stole my card, and he, I don't know.
The not guilty plea is really all I need at this point, Ms. McMullen. We're not going to determine your guilt or innocence today.
Guilty.
Huh?
I'll just do guilty.
Are you sure? I mean, you were saying earlier you think you might have a defense to this.
Yeah, I've talked to my attorney, Sean Elliott, and he wanted to talk to me some more about it before the court case, but I've moved here to Eureka from Augusta, Kansas. And getting out there has just been harder than planned, plus I'm going to school. Is there a way we can have another court hearing?
Yes. So what I'm inclined to do, Ms. McMullen, just based on your reservations here today, is to enter a not guilty plea at this time, set you a future court date, and then we'll talk about court-appointed counsel. Okay?
Yes. Okay.
All right. Not guilty plea entered. Missy, suggest a date.
June 11th at 3:30.
June 11th, 3:30 p.m. You must participate fully by Zoom at that time, personally. Can you afford to hire your own lawyer then, Ms. McMullen?
Yeah.
You talked about it.
Yes, I can.
You can. Okay. Your attorney will need to be with you on that meeting then.
Okay.
So June 11th, 3:30 p.m. for the proceedings in your case. You've already posted a bond, and I'll maintain you under it, Ms. McMullen. It is a $200 cash bond, and I'll leave that in effect. Well, cash bond to be surrendered. Okay. I think it's still pending. I'll maintain her under that bond. She appeared today and she's been very patient. So I'll maintain her under that current cash bond pending further proceedings in her case. June 11 at 3:30, with her having her own attorney show up with her at that meeting. Okay. Any questions, Ms. McMullen?
No, Judge Ricke, thank you.
Okay. And if there's nothing further at this time, your matter is in recess and you can leave the meeting at this time, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, do I have other participants, I think, at the courthouse whose name hasn't been called yet?
Rodman?
Kevin Rodman.
Yes, sir.
State of Kansas versus Kevin Rodman. Case number 24 TR 129. Rodman appears from the Greenwood County Courthouse Zoom location. Jill Gillette for the state. This is a driving without a license case under 8235. How do you intend to plead to this, Mr. Rodman?
Well, I did drive to Eureka to get some groceries, but I mean it was a stupid thing to do. I know that. I don't know if I need a lawyer or not.
Well, an unclassified misdemeanor would be punishable by up to a $500 fine and up to 30 days in the county jail. I need to advise you of that. Whether you need a lawyer or not, that's up to you. You can proceed on your own, but in doing so, you'd be waiving your right to a legal counsel, including even the right to an appointed lawyer if you financially qualified for a court-appointed lawyer. You understand these things?
Yes.
So what are your intentions today regarding a plea, Mr. Rodman?
I'm gonna go for an attorney.
I'm sorry, sir?
I'm gonna ask for an attorney.
Okay. The court will enter a not guilty plea then on behalf of Mr. Rodman at this point. Appoint Richard Paw to represent him. Are we going to use June 11 at 3:30, Missy?
No, Judge, I believe this is a traffic case, so it needs to be set June 7th at 10.
Thank you. June 7, 10 o'clock a.m. This will be another Zoom proceeding. You can appear where you did today, Mr. Rodman. June 7, 10 o'clock is your next court date. Richard Paw is your lawyer. And your appearance bond with Sarah Ricke remains in effect. Any questions about what we've done here today, Mr. Rodman?
No, sir.
Thank you for your patience.
Thank you,
You're
sir.
free to go at this time.
Thank you.
Okay.
I think we're down to Swopes and Moreland, right?
I'm aware of Swopes. What's the other case that you show?
Moreland, Morlene.
Oh, yes, I see that now. Bradley Moreland? Bradley Moreland. Okay, we'll get back to that. Peggy Swopes? So I don't appear to have either Moreland or Swopes anywhere. Moreland, which is case number 24 CR 80, burglary and theft case. Let's see why we believe he was supposed to be here. I see a summons issued. Try to determine if a summons actually was served. Well, apparently he was served in Johnson County. Oh, wait a minute. Unable to locate the subject at the address listed. No forwarding address. I trust then that the county attorney's office would submit to the court eventually an active arrest warrant.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. What bond are you suggesting to be part of that act?